just how strong Loki really is, potentially even being one of the strongest characters in the entire series, as after killing his own father in King Herald, he stole his legendary devil fruit and now claims the title of Sun God.
You're joking. Not another one?
Alright, I know, I think we're all tired of hearing all these fake sun gods, but this time is different, I swear, because Loki's rendition of the sun god is about to bring Ragnarok. If we look back at Oda's illustration, the prince seemingly had enough respect from his people, and remember, he was the one who proposed to Lola before getting rejected. This kind of showcases that either he was out to get power, or he actually genuinely fell in love with Lola? I don't know about that one. I'm taking a piss. But for reals, we'll soon come to know why he was after power and how the alliance with Big Mom made more sense. Giants explained that whilst Dory and Broggy were absent, Loki did an unspeakable act which threw Elbaf into chaos. He killed his own father, King Herald. Why? Well, for a devil fruit. To be fair, it's not just any ordinary one, it's a legendary one. This power is usually passed down in the royal family. Considering Hydrodin is the older one, he would have likely gotten it. So, you can't really blame Loki, I guess.
I beg your pardon?
Now it's not clear whether the king possessed the power of the devil fruit or just locked it up in a treasure box or something. But if he did have the power, then the whole idea of stealing devil fruits could have originated from Elbaf itself. Like if there was a fruit passing ritual, I'm pretty sure Blackbeard would have learnt it. Remember, you don't have to have Blackbeard's power to steal another man's ability, as we saw with Jesus Burgess, since he had planned to kill Sabo and have his fruit spawn in the bag of fruits he was carrying around. We also saw this happen when the smile monster in Punk Hazard died and its Akuma no Mi spawned to the closest fruit. There is also Doflamingo, who received Ace's devil fruit, likely because he himself carried bags of fruits, as he believed either Whitebeard, Ace or some strong devil fruit user would have died during the war, and so he planned ahead. Which brings us back to what Loki must have done. In Norse mythology, Asgardians and giants are two different races, so Loki and Odin were not blood related until they performed the blood ritual, which tied them as brothers, since Loki was a giant and Odin was an Asgardian. And as we know, Loki was the god of mischief and caused a lot of havoc, similar to his counterpart in One Piece. In fact, the giants even said when he was born, he was called the accursed prince. But if you've not forgotten, in chapter 866, in Big Mom's flashback when she was in Elbaf, Prince Loki was just born, and to follow tradition they wanted to celebrate his birth by thanking the sun for his growth. But they did this by fasting. This obviously affected Big Mom pretty bad, and she went on a rampage, which led to the death of Ural, and was a very devastating time for the people of Elbaf. So maybe through some conditioning, people might have thought that Prince Loki was unlucky, so on and so forth, and then he went to the dark side. So there might be more to this, like following a prophecy. I mean, the original Loki got Odin's son to kill his immortal brother Baldur, and it's immediately after his death is where Loki gets imprisoned. Sound familiar? Loki's imprisonment in both laws is what starts the end of the world. In the original mythology, he escapes his imprisonment and joins the giants against the Asgardians, thus triggering Ragnarok. And now it's all coming together. So either for power or prophecy, Loki in One Piece took his claim and possessed a devil fruit considered to be a legendary amongst even the giants. On top of that, Luffy feeling his strength can give us insight to Loki's haki being insane. All of this is further elaborated when we learn all of the warriors of Elbaf was needed to detain Loki. On top of that, Loki has made efforts to free himself, and they need the strength of every warrior to restrain him. To put things into perspective, Dory and Broggy were shown dealing with the goddesses with relative ease, though not being able to defeat them, they stood their ground. And now we find out that there is another giant, a Youngblood, who is stronger than all the warriors in Elbaf combined. But what makes things worse is Luffy ended up finding the scream he was talking about, and it was none other than Prince Loki himself, with a massive double spread page revealing how huge he is. Like, what the hell was Oda smoking when he showed us Loki proposing to Lola before? He seems to be wearing the regular giant warrior outfit, but in his buckle belt there is a Jolly Roger with a crown. This could be his own crew of giant pirates. Loki's eyes are bandaged, which could imply that whatever devil fruit he ate not only gave him a massive power boost, but also could have something to do with his eyes or vision, such that the giants had to make efforts to conceal them tightly. Or maybe he just got clapped and he needed some bandage, who knows. But Luffy, in typical Luffy fashion, when asked to introduce himself, he says he's the man who's gonna be the king of the pirates. The term king catches Loki's attention, likely thinking that he is the only one true king. When Luffy questions his whereabouts, Loki reveals that this is Warland, the mighty kingdom of Elbaf. He then finally introduces himself as Loki, the sun god who will bring about the end of the world. With this crazy statement, we finally get a look at Elbaf in all its glory. Elbaf is a landscape of mountains, the colossal tree Yggdrasil standing right at the center. To just put into perspective how huge this tree is, there are a community of giants and castles built upon the branches of the trees, along with a humongous sword that is resting on the second layer of the tree. The idea that Sun God Nika might have been a giant is making more sense by the minute. In fact, this sword could have been stretched by Nika himself. Otherwise, how the heck did someone make it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check this out next.